What's going on, everybody? Brandon here, and I am back with another action figure review. Today we're taking a look at Spider-Man No Way Home, the brand new Jet Web Cycle. Super excited for this playset, you guys. This is an awesome looking vehicle and one that I knew I definitely wanted. A really cool looking figure. There's no plastic or film over this, so definitely pay attention when you're in the store if this is one that you want to pick up. To make sure that you get a good one that isn't scratched. So here's what the side of the packaging looks like. Spider-Man's got wings, and I am really excited for this because if he has wings, that means he has a port or hole on his back. So hopefully we can get those old tentacles or accessories from that Iron Spider outfit for the old figure we got in 2018. That would be really, really cool. Hopefully we can do that and get an Iron Spider looking the way that he should. All right, we're gonna get this thing out of the packaging and take a closer look. 25 bucks at Walmart. Is it worth it? We'll find out. Stay tuned. All right, so we got our new figure and vehicle out of the packaging. Let's take a closer look. First, at the brand new Iron Spider, or Spider-Man in his integration suit. This is a pretty cool looking figure, one that I really do like a lot. I can tell that the sculpt is different, minor, subtle details. His wrists are pointed down instead of sideways. There's far less articulation. His arms are a lot more rubbery. Probably easier to put him on the motorcycle like that. His legs definitely have a little bit of a wider stance. Also, again, likely to accommodate the motorcycle, but very cool. I really, really do like the way this guy looks. He's got that peg hole on the back. I can already tell maybe this won't work. It's kind of a hexagon shape. And not a half circle like on our older Spider-Man figure. So a very cool looking figure. I remember what I really disliked the most about motorcycle Spider-Mans when I was a kid was that the knees were always bent. So we don't have that issue here. He's definitely a full functioning figure, and he can be used without his motorcycle. So for articulation, he's got movement in his head side to side on a ball joint, so he can barely look just a little bit up and a little bit down ever so slightly. His arms do a full 360 and his legs go forward and they don't really go back. And that's about it for Spider-Man. A really cool looking figure and one that I am very happy to have. Super excited for this new film. For Spider-Man's accessory, he comes with this jetpack, pop-out wings. It just attaches right onto his back. And then it's got this long wing down the middle, and that connects to the motorcycle. So you push this down, and the wings pop out. You can even see he's got some flaps right here, which is kind of cool. Kind of like a real airplane would. And then he's got this button down here, and that's what makes the wings go back in. Do they stay out very well, easily, and lock into place? Not really. But the gimmick is there, so that's kind of cool. I think this would be really cool to compare with a Vulture. I'll have to fish mine out slowly later. We can compare the wingspans. So there we go, attached right on. Again, you don't need the motorcycle to do any of this, to have Spider-Man here or to have his wings pop out. There we go. And that's exactly how that looks. Very cool stuff. Definitely a cool gimmick if you're a kid. Kind of gives me Batman vibes. He's got a glider and a motorcycle. Still very, very cool. Comparing this guy with our 2018 Spider-Man, also 2019 Infinity War Endgame, he's got this on his back, the tentacles, the things that, for me, always in the comic book identify him as being the Iron Spider. And then let's see, moment of truth, if it'll fit. Fortunately, it does not look like it fits, which is a bummer. Flipping it around the other way to see if maybe there's something we can do there, and it does not look like it. To me, it looks like this half circle is just a little bit too wide of a perimeter, and this is definitely a smaller port. So very unfortunate. My quick fix around this, though, is just to kind of put all of these in. So if you're trying to display him on a shelf, put in all 4 legs like this, tilt him back. Figured out how to do that since my last video. So at least you can display him like that. I know I saw a couple comments to drill a hole into Spider-Man's back. I mean, you could do that. Here's our old one right here from the other set of figures. And yeah, you could probably drill a little hole in there and make that work. I'm going to hold out and hope that we get a third version of this figure before I do that, though. Taking a look next at the bike, this is actually a really, really cool piece. If you're a customizer, you could do so much with this. It's just all flat colors. You could put so much detail on this, and that would be awesome. So I can kind of tell, it being an Iron Spider bike, we got these here on the side, 4 of them. How cool would that be if they came out like giant legs or giant tentacles? That would be super, super awesome. Unfortunately, this is just a big hunk of plastic, and there's no missile, there's no extra gimmick there other than the wings. It does move forward and back with ease. The wheels are wide enough so that way it does not need a kickstand, and it will just stand on its own no matter what you do, which is pretty great. And the wheels are plastic, definitely not rubber, so it looks like it'll probably last you a little bit longer. There's no glass on the headlights or shine or anything to make it look like fake glass, or on the windshield either, just plastic and black, but still a very, very nice piece. If anything, I think that this bike reminds me of Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds. If you've ever seen that card game, motorcycles, it's an interesting show. So we got to attach this piece on his back through here. We're going to put Spider-Man's arms out. We're going to lock him into place just like this. Boom, and there he is. His hands fit easily onto the handlebars. So if you're a little kid, you're not going to have a problem doing that for sure. Very, very easy. He's locked into place, and he can move easily here on his bike with no problems, and he does not fall off, which is wonderful because it clips into place there very, very easily. Now, the gimmick is he's supposed to take off from his motorcycle, right? So grab down from right here and just pull up. When you pull up, he should lift his hands from the handlebars. You're going to push up, and then he comes out. Is it really a good gimmick? I'm not so sure. If there was maybe a button for a spring where he could pop out, that'd be better. But most of the time he gets locked, stuck in there right at the bottom. But definitely a cool idea if you're a kid for play. That's pretty awesome. Spider-Man rides his motorcycle, boom, pops out to fly. Very interesting stuff, and definitely a fun gimmick if you're a kid. This is not one that I would have expected to have, and most of my Spider-Mans didn't do this stuff when I was little, so very cool. Other Spider-Man figures definitely fit on this bike with ease. The cool thing is you don't have to worry about the knees being bent or anything like that. All you need is for your Spider-Man to have open hands, at least one open hand. So this Spider-Man has 1 out of 2, and that seems to work very well. Even some of the older Spider-Mans, they will fit as long as they got 1 open hand. That is really all that you need, and you can pretty much make this work. So there we go. There's another Spider-Man with 1 open hand, and he fits on the motorcycle pretty good. So definitely there is some compatibility there, or if you end up with the bike and not the Spider-Man, you could definitely make this work, and you don't even need the jetpack. So very cool stuff, and a very nice touch. For a size comparison with our new motorcycle Spider-Man versus some of his previous counterparts, he's just a little bit taller, just a little bit bigger. You can kind of tell that he's just a hair of a bigger figure, definitely compared to his previous counterpart. The original basic figure is a much smaller figure compared to our new one. Nevertheless, very cool stuff and very nice to have. you don't really notice it too much. I feel like if you were to compare the Spider-Man to some previous figures that were not basic figures, like this one has the action gimmick, and then the black Spider-Man figure, and then the one with the white lines, he came with a zip line. These figures are scaled just slightly bigger than the basic figures, and I think that is where our new motorcycle Spider-Man lines up more or less. He's in scale with these guys. For a wing size comparison, we can definitely tell that this wingspan on our new motorcycle Spider-Man figure is definitely a lot wider than the previous Spider-Man figure that we got. One of the basic figures that just has a jetpack attached to him. Those wings are definitely shorter than the new wings. Still really cool though. Nice to have them together side by side. And comparing our new Spider-Man to our good old classic Homecoming Vulture, they actually fit in really, really nicely together. So if you wanted to display them on the shelf together, have them hang from your ceiling with some fish wire, or just play an epic battle and be a kid and have your toys fly, you can definitely do that. These guys look great. Whose wingspan is wider? I think it's still Vulture, but it is really, really close. Yeah, I'm going to give it to Vulture. Just a hair wider, but still really cool. This guy does have a little bit of trouble standing, I have noticed over time. Just a heavy backpack there, so he's kind of got to lean forward a little bit, but very cool stuff. And for a motorcycle comparison, unfortunately, I was unable to find my old Spider-Mans. I had a Spider-Man from the first Tobey Maguire movie on a quad, and I had an old one from the old Spider-Man animated series. Unfortunately, these guys will have to suffice for now. So, anyways, the main point is with pretty much any basic 5 or 6-inch scaled motorcycle or two-wheeled vehicle, this new bike is going to fit in, and that's pretty awesome. This is the new Jet Web Cycle. Honestly, the only time I have ever seen Spider-Man on a bike was in the Drake Bell Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon on Disney Channel. And there he did have a web cycle. His bike would shoot webs and then would ride over the webs, which was actually pretty practical and it made sense. So, anyways, this looks pretty cool. And this is what I was talking about earlier. All of the old school figures that went on a motorcycle, they always had bent knees, and there was nothing that you could do about that. So, thankfully, we don't have that this time around with our new Spider-Man figure. He's actually got regular legs that are straight, and you can take him off, and he's a action figure that's ready to go, ready to play, and he can stand up all on his own. So very, very cool stuff. Very happy to have this guy. All right, you guys, that about does it for this action figure review. Once again, the brand new Spider-Man No Way Home playset. This is the Web Jet Cycle. $25 at Walmart. Is it worth it? I think it really depends. If you're a kid, this could definitely be a great set for you for 25 bucks, and there's a lot of fun to be had for sure. If you're a Spider-Man diehard, a collector, you're gonna need this. It's gonna have to be a must-have for you to cross off your list of Spider-Man merch for the new movie. If you're just somebody who's looking for gear, new merch, or trying to get something cool to remember the movie by, or you want to collect some things, leave others behind, this could be one of those that you leave behind, especially since we get a basic figure of the new Iron Spider suit, so you don't necessarily need to get the motorcycle. And is it worth that 25 bucks? I lean closer on 20. But still a really, really cool set, and one that I'm really happy to have. You guys, thank you so much for watching. The likes, comments, shares, and subscriptions have been absolutely phenomenal, and my channel continues to grow. As I find more new cool stuff to review, I'll bring it right here to the channel, so stay tuned. Once again, I'm Brandon, and thanks for watching.